Suppose I'm given the task of storing the marks of 3 students. So for this task, I can create 3 variables, marks 1, marks 2 and marks 3. And in the memory, these variables, so if I'm having a RAM, these variables can be assigned any storage space randomly. So this is marks 1 and this is marks 2 and possibly this is marks 3. So this is how I can store the marks of 3 students. But now suppose I was given the task of storing the marks of 100 students. Would I be creating 100 variables? No, that would be a very tedious task. Also, accessing these separate memory locations and keeping a track of these memory locations would also be very tedious. That is why there was a need of organizing the data in such a way that these marks were easily accessible, and that is why arrays were introduced. So what is an array? An array is a collection of similar data elements. So if the marks are all integers, then the array would have all elements as integers. So all the data elements will have the same data type. Either they would be integers or they would be float variables or they would be characters. So those would be the primitive data types, and the elements over here would be stored in consecutive memory locations. So if we have an array, that means the elements now would be stored in the memory in consecutive memory location. That means one after the other. So if over here, if we have an array of 5 elements, so it would require 5 memory locations. And this is how the array would be stored. And the elements would be referenced by an index, which is also referred to as a subscript. An array can be declared using this syntax, where this is the data type. So it could be int or float or char. Then we need to give the name of the array and the size. That means what would be the number of elements that can be stored in this particular array. So suppose if we declare an array like int marks 5, that means all elements in an array marks would be of type integer, and the maximum number of elements that can be stored in this array would be 5, and each element can be referred to by its index. So the first would be index 0, so we are referring to it as marks 0. Then the next one would be marks 1, marks 2 and so on. As you must have learned in your earlier programming course, that this is also referring to the base address of the array. So the name of the array is also the base address of the array. So if this array starts at an address 2000, and if each integer is taking 4 bytes of storage, then the next would be starting at 2004, and the next element would be starting at address 2008 and so on. So these all would be consecutive memory locations. So if we want to access the elements of array, there is not one single function that can operate on all the elements. So suppose if I want to initialize the array, what will I have to do? So this is my array marks 5 and I want to initialize it. So I will have to run a loop from subscript 0 to subscript 4, so that I can take in the values and store these marks at their respective addresses. Even if I want to perform any operation on each element of the array, then also I will have to take the help of a loop. So suppose if I over here have to set all the elements to an even number, then here I am running the loop from 0 to 5, and num I is equal to I into 2. I is the subscript, so whatever is the subscript value multiplied by 2. So if the subscript value is 0, the element the value over here becomes 0. If it is 1, it becomes 2. If it is 2, it becomes 4. That means that whenever I have to access the elements of an array, I will have to use a loop, and to use this loop, I will simply vary the value of the subscript. So this subscript value will grow from 0 to a particular value, and this subscript must be an integral value. So this I over here has to be an integral value only, or an expression that evaluates to an integral value. Like I can also write num I plus 1 is equal to num of I. I can also do this because this is also evaluating to an integral value. What are the operations that can be performed on the array? So we can traverse an array. By traversing an array means that we can go from the beginning to the end of the array sequentially by going through each data element, by accessing each element of this array sequentially. We can insert an element in an array. So if I want to insert an element in this particular array, I will have to make sure that there is extra space for that element to be inserted. So suppose the array currently was not having this value 65. It just had 4 values. And now if the element had to be inserted in a particular position, say over here, then all the elements which are currently existing would have to be shifted to the right for a new element to come in its place. Searching an element in an array would involve that you have a particular key value which is given to you, and we have to look into the array and find that element. So that would involve looking and comparing each element of the array with the key value and possibly returning the subscript of the place where that element is found, or some other negative value if no similar element was found in the array. Deleting an element from an array. So suppose if this is the current situation of the array and 82 has to be deleted, this would involve shifting these places, the other elements, to take the place of the deleted element. Merging of two arrays. So if two arrays, suppose this is one array and if this is another array, and these two arrays have to be merged into a third array. So if there are 3 elements over here and 4 elements over here, you would need an array of at least 7 elements, and all the values a1, a2, a3 would be written down first, followed by all the values of in the second array, b1, b2, b3, b4. This would have been okay if these arrays were in an unsorted manner. However, if these two arrays were in a sorted order, then that would, merging of the two arrays would not be so simple. Then that would involve the putting these elements into the new array as well as sorting them also. And another operation of the array is that given an array, we can sort it in ascending order or descending order. So can we think of the array as an ADT? Can we think that this array is an ADT? So if we have to talk about the array as an abstract data type, the first thing is that we need its representation. How is that array going to be represented? Whether it is going to be represented by an index and the value that is present at that index. Then we can define some operations for it. Like we just said that we can have different kinds of operations over here. Similarly, we can define these operations over here. Create an array, so that would return an array. Retrieve an array. Store in an array at a particular index, store this value. Okay, retrieve in this array from this index, retrieve the value. So these are the operations that can be performed. This is the ADT part. How is it going to be implemented beneath? We don't know that.